Hi, good day to all of you. Welcome to the Halal in Travel Global Summit 2022, hosted by CrescentRating and HalalTrip. Thank you very much for joining this session. In this session, I'm going to have a discussion with Beena Pothen, the country manager of Mastercard for Malaysia, on her thoughts on flexible payments that will enable travel. She just moved to Malaysia from Dubai, where she was the business development lead for Mastercard. I'm Fazal Bahardeen from Crescent Rating, and I'll be moderating this session today. Hi, Bina. Great to have you today with us.
Hi, Fazal. Good day, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for the discussion. But before I proceed, Fazal, thank you. Thank you for
Thank you.
organizing today's session.
Thanks, Bina. Thanks. I know that you have just moved to Malaysia from Dubai. Tell us a bit about how you compare Malaysia and Dubai, and whether you have already got used to the Malaysian food like nasi lemak and all this stuff.
Good question. Being here for the last 3 weeks, but I do feel that I'm at home. The infrastructure is fantastic, absolutely great food, and like you mentioned, my mornings now start with nasi lemak. So
That's
yes, so that's my initial 3 weeks feedback on Malaysia.
That's great. That's great. I know now that you've moved to Malaysia, you're probably exposed to this region now. Where are you planning to travel during your next holidays? And tell us why.
Yeah, so Fazal, opening of the borders and easing travel restrictions definitely is, getting all of us to think about where do we want to travel. But with the varying travel requirements from country to country, I
Yeah.
think travel now requires a little bit more of planning
Mm.
than in the past. I'm hoping to travel to United Kingdom,
All
one
right.
of the key destinations in the GMTI over the years.
Right.
Reasons for picking up UK is two. It's got a very good balance of a bustling city experience with
Mm.
an amazing countryside to unwind. But
All
that's
right.
not the only reason, Fazal.
Yeah.
It also has a fantastic payment infrastructure. And I
Mm.
think personally, from my perspective, I feel comforted that I need not pay using cash. I don't have to carry cash along with me. I
Mm.
can pay for goods and services simply by tapping my phone or tapping my card.
Yes, yes. I think we're going to discuss about payments and wallets and all that. It reminds me, like 5 6 years ago, my wallet that I used to carry was this thick, and now it has got this thick. Cash was disappearing and more cards in that, and then cards are also disappearing now. So I have gotten now a much more smaller version of what you can carry, because everything, especially in Malaysia, e-wallets are very popular, that you can pay almost for everything. So tell us, what, like, when you go to London, what's in your wallet, like, when you travel?
Okay, Fazal, you're talking to a woman, right? Typically, we carry large bags with us, and it's not just wallets, right? So, what will my bag have this time around? Of course, masks, sanitizers,
True.
my phone, and definitely my debit and credit cards. Because for me, my Mastercard are handy. Cards are handy, companions prior and throughout my journey, because
Right.
whether it is for booking of accommodation, flights, car rentals, tour guides, or getting by in the city that I travel, I guess I want my peace of mind, because travel for me is just taking a break from mundane, and it's
Right.
necessary to have greater peace of mind. I don't like to carry cash. I
Mm.
don't, to your point, right? The wallets are becoming thinner. I would rather only carry my mobile phone. And in
Absolutely.
instances where cash has to be used, I'd possibly use a local ATM, because the exchange rates are pretty good as well. So, if I have a merchant out there who insists on cash, I think I'd possibly withdraw cash from a local ATM. But while I talk about it, I think it's important to note that the entire travel ecosystem, right? Whether it is tour operators, whether it is merchants, I think it is important to make payments frictionless. it
Absolutely.
has to become invisible because I think invisible payments is the mantra. People want to enjoy the destination. They really don't care about making that payment. They don't wake up in the morning thinking how to pay, and
Great.
that's the way it should be when I'm during my travel. Yes, but as a consumer, I want my payments to be secure. I want my payments. I want to make sure that I trust the partner while I'm using. And Fazal, if you look at the market today, right, there are several pay tech innovations that actually
Absolutely.
make this possible. you know
Absolutely.
so it removes the friction, but it offers the end consumer the security that they're looking for. So,
Yeah.
classic example, right? We have tokenization.
Mm-hmm.
Tokenization enables merchants to actually encrypt and save the transaction,
Yeah.
the payment information without compromising the customer card details. So
Absolutely.
technologies are available. Frictionless, invisible payments will be the future, and that is what we need to focus on as partners in the travel ecosystem.
Absolutely. No, I like the word that you used. Actually, I heard it for the first time. Invisible payments. I think that's what it is. These days, actually, I even forget to carry my wallet, and then I have my phone always, of course, and phone solves a lot of payment problems these days. I can in Singapore, in Malaysia, at least, I can even pay to some of the very small, stall holders using here they call touch and go.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can use that, and it works pretty well actually. So yeah, so I think flexible payments. We hope that will make travel seamless. From a traveler's point of view, how so you think that it can make travel seamless?
So I just want to give you an example, right? Before the pandemic, 2019, the travel industry contributed to nearly 10% of the global GDP. And
Mm.
then we saw the downturn coming. But the good part about it is that all the ecosystem players are now looking into the future with a more resilient and more adaptable mindset. So that's the good part of it. And I think it is important that all quarters work together to make the travel experience seamless for the end consumer. So, whether it is the government, the payment brands, the tourism operators, or anyone in the travel and tourism ecosystem, should actually be leveraging technology to make sure that the payment is seamless, easier, and invisible to the end consumer. And at the end of the day, it improves traveler satisfaction and drives loyalty to your brand. Now, with regard to digital payments, right, you just mentioned that you use your mobile phone. There are times when you forget to carry your cards as well. It's not just practical now, but it's also the smart way to travel, right?
True.
The travelers don't need to carry cash. You don't need to worry about exchanging large sums of cash, which could be unsafe, but in today's world also compromise hygiene, right?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
second one being that digital payments make it easy, swift, convenient. To your point, whether it is me hailing a taxi here, I don't
Hmm.
have to worry about payments. I don't have to pull out my card to make the payment because
Absolutely.
now payments is becoming invisible. It is sitting at the back, and I'm just enjoying my cab ride. So imagine a
Absolutely.
scenario where, to your earlier point, right? You just travel, you finish your hotel bookings, your flight bookings, and then once you reach the destination, whether it's a bus ride, whether it's a taxi ride, whether it's the food and beverage at the street side store, yeah, all of it is being paid using your mobile phone or a payment device, one single payment device. So I
Mm.
guess that's going to be the future. And when I look at Malaysia, right? I mean, new to Malaysia, but if you
Yeah.
look at evolving payment landscape, this country
Mhm.
has been super active and has been quite advanced in the Southeast Asia segment to meet the
Mhm.
growing needs of the travelers. Just to
Yeah.
give you a background, Fazal, Malaysia was the first country to implement EMB in the mid 2000s.
Hmm.
Then we had in 2016 the country moved from signature based to pin based system. So
Right.
again, we
Yes.
were amongst the first to implement chip and pin. All
Hmm.
debit cards in Malaysia are contactless today.
Yeah.
In
Today.
terms of
True.
even the infrastructure, right, for the country, there are over 800,000 terminals, POS terminals in the market,
Okay. Hmm.
and nearly half of them are contactless. Basically, it means that they just the infrastructure has made it easy for the end consumer to even pay for daily essentials just
Yeah.
using their card or mobile.
I mean, let's talk a little bit about Mastercard. You are really a global leader in the technology payments area. So, how does Mastercard really support in this whole ecosystem of enhancing the consumers' travel experience and elevating the experience?
So, MasterCard actually works with different partners in the ecosystem. Let's start with the merchants. We work
Hmm.
very, very closely with the service providers, the merchant community across various categories to support open loop payment system, and also now greater acceptance of digital payments so that travel becomes a more seamless experience. Some of the ways that we address this is by first enhancing merchant footprint,
Hmm.
growing acceptance levels, make it ubiquitous, easy, efficient, cost friendly for all categories of merchants, right
Right.
from tier one, which are the established brands, to the tier four, which are smaller businesses, the mom and pop stores, hawker stalls, and the like. Apart from building the infrastructure along governments and peers in the payment industry, merchants also need to be open to new forms of payment and adapt quickly to capture the tourism business. In terms of acceptance footprint, we've seen that post pandemic there is a rapid increase in the acceptance footprint. We are expecting to close 2022 with nearly 85 million outlets
Yeah.
worldwide accepting cards.
Right.
I mean, I would assume that the best case scenario would be integration of variety of digital payment options, enabling POS, contactless, QR, tap on phone capability, among others, that offer choice and convenience to the end consumer. So
Right.
Fazil can decide that he wants to use his mobile phone. I could choose to use my card plastics. So we give the end choice to the end consumer. I think
Right.
that is important. That's on the merchant front. Now, when it comes to the consumer front,
Hmm.
MasterCard also has offers priceless specials. These are curated benefits and offers designed for MasterCard holders. These cover various passion points, travel, dining, arts, culture, sports, and entertainment. So cardholders can enjoy exclusive privileges as they go about, going to the top-notch cafes, restaurants, beauty salons, fitness centers, access leisure activities, etc. It's an important platform where we are able to connect. Our priceless special is an important platform, and we use that to connect with consumers and add value to their lives with experiences, not just in the cities that they travel, but also in the cities that they reside. Apart from this, Fazal, on the third aspect, we constantly conduct market analysis and high frequency data insights. These help partners such as governments, um, ecosystem players in the travel industry, such as travel and tourism partners, hotels, etc., to adapt their products and services to the changing needs of the end consumer. So, governments and the ecosystem players in the travel industry can market their solutions based on the customer's changing needs. So, this is
Right.
something that we do very, very frequently as well. And now, a classic example, right, of this, what we've done in this space, is a collaboration with you at with Crescent Rating, right, on the Mastercard Crescent Rating Global Muslim Travel Index. It
Okay.
reflects our effort in the space when it comes to research and product development to drive growth for this particular segment, which is the Muslim travel market. The Muslim travel market is actually growing, you are aware of it, and has amazing potential and opportunity in the travel space. So, and we do believe that the GMTI reports highlights how destinations can attract this segment by addressing their faith-based needs of the Muslim traveler. So I think there's a lot of work going on in that space as well. And needless to say, our recent studies have also shown Mastercard Economic Institute reveals that for the first time since pandemic, there is good news. The global leisure and business flight bookings surpassed the pre-pandemic levels,
All
whereas
right.
spending on cruise lines, buses, trains saw sharp improvement this year, signaling a key milestone in the global travel recovery. And incidentally, one of the data that I came across was, I have to share this with you, that if this trend continues at the
Mm.
current pace, it's estimated that we will have 430 million more passengers, which will fly in Asia Pacific compared to last year.
Hopefully so. Hopefully so. We all need that. We all, the industry needs a lot of boost here, as we have to recover from the 2 years of real damage to the both lives and livelihoods. A couple of things that you mentioned. I am so surprised on the acceptance of new forms of payments. I go to very small, in Malaysia. Of course, you'll start loving that. You can go to very small, shops and buy food and buy that, and even they are accepting QR codes and things like that, which I wouldn't have imagined that they were able to do, because this requires some level of technology, I assume, from their side as well. So it's really great to see that. Yeah, and your second point, on the work that you do with us, yes, we have been partners for our 7 plus probably 8 years now, and we have been releasing a lot of reports to help the industry. Talking about the industry and governments, Beena, what are your set of suggestions that governments and industry players could do in this space to sort of ramp up digital payments, which will, eventually, attract more travelers and, ease the travelers' pain points and all that.
I think, Fazal, on this front, right, on the payments front, it's important to educate governments, travel and tourism operators, merchants on the benefits of offering cashless payments, making payments easy, making payments invisible, and at the same time secure, so that the travel experience for the end customer is improved, and that encourages loyalty, repeat visits, and ultimately enhance cross-border commerce. And you're right, 2022 is our seventh year with Crescent Rating. Mastercard is deeply appreciative of Crescent Rating's commitment to this partnership, which focuses on helping business better understand the evolving needs of the consumers who want to be able to enjoy experiences that align with their faiths. Mastercard values working with like minded partners such as Crescent Rating, who recognize the power of data and the insights and are committed to developing best solutions that will serve the travel and hospitality segment first. Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you, Veena. Thanks. It was great talking to you to get your insights on this. Very important. I think payments is probably the most critical part of, as at least from a traveler's journey point of view. It's critical in everywhere else as well. And thanks for sharing your thoughts. And we look forward to having you in our future events as well. And look forward to meeting you in person as well soon. Thank you very much, Veena.
Well, look forward to. Thank you.
Thank you.